Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jiang Shangming, and my metric number is A206927. Today, I would like to discuss with you the topic of Sustainable Development Goal 5, gender equality. Gender equality is not only a basic human right, but also the cornerstone of achieving peace, prosperity, and sustainable development. However, in today's world, women and girls still face unequal treatment and challenges in many areas. Okay, before we start, please imagine the following questions. Have you ever heard of equal pay for equal work? In many countries, even if men and women do the same work, women's wages are often 10% to 13% lower than men's. For example, in the United States, Hollywood star Jennifer Lawrence often publicly stated that she received much less pay than the male lead in Hunger Games. And do you know what the most difficult job in the world is? It's housewife. They have to cook, take care of the children, clean all year round, but the job is content and wages in GDP, and many people even think that she doesn't work. We all see that education is fire. So why are girls still be banned from going to school around the world? In Afghanistan, girls have banned from secondary and university education since 2021. In some parts of Africa, the monthly period can even prevent girls from going to school for several days because they don't have sanitary towel. So if you have to miss 3 to 5 days of school every month because of this, what do you think will happen to your future? These are real examples of gender inequality. Through these examples, we can see that gender equality is not only just a case of sub-abstractive problem, but a concrete reality that happens to all kinds of people around the world. And these realities are actually what SDG 5 want to change. Do you think gender discrimination only affects women? Not completely. Men also be restricted by gender basis, such as must be tough, can cry, and can engage in feminine occupations. I believe that achieving gender equality is not the responsibility of a certain group, but the responsibility of every country, every industry, and every person. We cannot just regard it as a women's issue, but should see it broad impact on social development. For example, the United Nations Development Programme point out that if women can achieve the same level of participation as men in the labor market, global GDP can increase by 28%. Research by the World Bank also shows that improving women's education level can significantly reduce infant mortality and increase family income. These, these studies prove that promoting gender equality can not only promoting gender economic growth, but also improve education level and family welfare. The higher the education level of the women, the healthier the family and the more promoting the children. Promoting social justice and stability, reducing discrimination will contribute to social inclusion and peace. So gender equality is to allow everyone to be free to themselves without being bound by gender. This is why our group chose the topic. Although the world has made some progress in promoting women's rights in past few decades, the problem is still very serious. Today we will analyze the goal for aspects includes its background, significance, specific goals, and solution. Thank you. Let's move on to this sharing. To deepen our discussion, our group selected some key tests and case studies, including the description of SDG 5 in the original text of United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which helps us to clarify the official goal framework and co-indicators. By studying the fundamental test, we understand the gender equality is not a standalone goal, but also a crucial factor in achieving other goals such as quality education, economic growth, and reducing inequalities. The processing on Sustainable Development Goals Gender Snapshot report released by United Nations Women, which provides detailed global gender statistics. The report highlighted the correct challenges and disparities in gender equality across different regions, reinforcing the agency and global relevance of the topic. It helps us to identify key focus area of our research. The analysis of sustainable cases in some countries, such as Ireland and India, in promoting gender equality, which allows us to see feasible path in actual operations. These examples included how policy measures, culture shifts, and legal reforms can work together to achieve gender equality, offering practical insights for our analysis. Next, each group member will share some cases and their specific views on gender equality in turn.
Hello everyone, my name is Zhang Ran and my metric number is A208267. Now I want to share some openings about eliminate all violence against women and girls. My first point is strengthen the legal framework and eliminate discriminatory laws. So far, many countries have enacted and improved specific laws to clear define various forms of violence against women and girls as crimes and increase penalties for perpetrators. And my first evidence is the United Nations Convention on the elimination of all forms of discrimination against women requires countries to take legal measures to eliminate discrimination and violence against women. Many contacting states have used this as a basis to promote domestic legal reforms. I chose this evidence first because the United Nations Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Women is an international legal document with wide influence, and it providing clear standards and guidance for countries in gender equality. This evidence explains the necessary and legitimacy of strengthening the legal framework and eliminating discriminatory laws for the perspective of international legal norms. And according to United Nations Women, some countries still lack laws to protect women from violence. Maybe about 50 countries still don't have laws to protect women from domestic violence, and about 40 countries prohibit women from having equal inheritance rights with men. This legal gives limit women's rights and security. So I think all the countries must strengthen the legal framework and eliminate discriminatory laws. My second point is strengthening education and awareness raising on violence against women and girls. Many countries carry out gender equality education and some violence policy activities in schools or communities and other places to raise public awareness, gender equality-based violence, change traditional gender concepts, and eliminate tolerance for violence behavior. My second evidence is international organizations such as United Nations Women have launched the Orange Day campaign around the world, promoting the elimination of gender-based violence and raising public awareness through social media and offline activities from November 25th to December 10th every year. The reason why I chose this evidence is that United Nations Women is an authoritative international organization, and the Orange Day campaign it initiated has a global influence and professionalism. It's setting such a credible international action and cause can provide sell the authority for the argument of strengthening education and policy on violence against women and girls, providing that such interactive very effective protects recognized internationally. And I believe that these activities will play an important role in strengthening the protection of women and girls. My last point is eliminate harmful traditional practice such as child marriage and female genital mutilation. In fact, both of these situations are still happening. My evidence is around 640 million women and girls over the world are married before the age of 18, with one-third of these women and girls living in India. Although rates of girls' marriage have declined, progress is not fast enough to eliminate it by 2030. In addition, around 230 million women and girls worldwide have undergone female genital mutilation, an increase of 30 million from 2016. Female genital mutilation is a harmful custom that seriously violates women's human rights and causes many harms to the victims. The reason I chose this evidence is that specific and detailed data can best directly reflect the severity and of the problem. This data directly support the necessaries of eliminating harmful traditional customs and making the point more impactful and persuasive. At the same time, using data to review the harm of customers to a large group of women can also highlight the key satisfaction of eliminating these customers in protecting women's human rights and promoting gender equality, making the argument more realistic. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Wang Yiding. My student number is 8207115. So I will explore women's participation in discussion making from three key aspects. Firstly, quota places in politics. In many countries, gender quotas in politics are game changers. Take the data from Rwanda as an example. By 2018, the population of women make decisions had increased. This shows quota places give women a real say in formulating national policies. The first evidence about quota places in politics is chosen because it provides a real-world example of how a gender quota has increased women's political representation. Rwanda's case with a clear percentage quota leading to a significant increase in the population of women in parliament offers created it. Next, the corporate leadership initiative. Some forward-thinking companies are leading the way. For instance, Unilever has set goals for women leadership and has provided leadership trainers programs for women. These measures have actually led to an increase in the number of women holding senior management positions. The second evidence regarding corporate leadership initiative is cited as it showcases how specific corporate places can drive change. The resulting growth in the number of women in senior management roles serves as evidence that such initiatives are successful in promoting women's access to corporate decision-making positions. Finally, family-friendly places. A study shows us that companies with family-friendly places have a higher population of women in leadership positions. When they support women in balancing work and family, they are more likely to return women to decision-making roles. This indicates that creating a work environment that respects family needs is beneficial for women to take part in decision-making. The third evidence about family-friendly places is chosen as it links a particular type of policy to the increased presence of women in leadership. The study by Pearson Institute for International Economic provides a research, thus validating the importance of family-friendly places in the context. These points provide us with specific examples and evidence. We can discuss how to promote more women's participation in decision making in different fields. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Qiu Zixuan and my lecture number is 8207698. So I'd like to talk about the eliminating all forms of gender discrimination. So this goal matters a lot because it's about making life fair for everyone. So gender discrimination happens in two big parts of life, public and private. So in public life, like employment, education, or healthcare, there are still some problems. Some women get paid less than men for same job. And in school, sometimes girls can't study the subject they want. And in private life, many women face unfairness at home. For example, they might not get the same share of family money, or they are told they must stay home and take care of the family instead of working. So the evidence is that Chinese law on the protection of women's rights are interested explicitly
prohibited gender discrimination in employment, but female inheritance rights are still deprived in rural areas. So proving the need to address discrimination from broad dimensions. Uh, so next is about uh, the two ways shows up discriminations. Uh, that's explicit and implicit. So explicit discrimination is easy to see. Before, some laws said women couldn't vote or work in certain jobs, and implicit discrimination is harder to notice. People might think women are not as good at some jobs, or they say women should only focus on family. So this idea stops women from having the same chance as men. Like Sandia Arbed banned women from driving before 2018. Similar to professional bans like women cannot serve as judges in some countries. So the reason why I choose this evidence is that I think it can prove providing a mental dimensional analyze mode. Like, I think it can guide this discussions to address three lawyers. Like, first, where discrimination exists, and second, how it's manifests, and the third, how to solve it. So it can avoiding single dimensional focus. Uh, thank you. That's all my part.
I'm Yao Yuannan. My number is 8207436. Today, I would like to address a crucial aspect of gender equality that often shapes long-term impact, but is sometimes overlooked in day-to-day discussions, and that is the institutional role of policy and legal reforms in achieving gender equality and empowering women. Policies and law are not just technical tools of governance, they are foundations for changing social structures and shifting cultural norms. When designed thoughtfully and enforced effectively, they can systematically eliminate institutional discrimination. They create an environment where women can access equal opportunities in education, employment, leadership, and decision making, not by exception but by right. Let me highlight three key examples that show how powerful this additional approach can be. Number one, Goal 5 of the United Nations 2017 Agenda for Sustainable Development clearly articulates the importance of promoting gender equality through some policies and enforceable legislation. This global commitment recognizes that without legal and policy frameworks, equality remains an abstract concept. Number two, taking Sweden, for example, so is gender mainstreaming policy. The Swedish government has integrated gender perspectives into all stages of public policy making. This has led to a significant increase in women's participation in both and global force, setting an international benchmark. Number three, other compelling example is Rwanda, where a constitutional gender quota has resulted in over 16% of parliamentary seats held by women, the highest in the world. This is not just symbolic, it's structural. It demonstrates how international change can empower women to influence national priorities and policies at the highest level. So how does it matter to our panel discussion? Because forcing on international reforms bring depth and direction to our conversation, while individual actions and social awareness are important. True transformation happens when governments commit to legal and policy change, and when these reforms are designed to last beyond political cycles. It also opens the door to discussion the role of legal mechanisms, governance structures, and international cooperation. It reminds us that gender equality is not just a moral cause, it's a policy imperative. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your thank you very much for your wonderful explanation. Through today's report, we can see that gender equality is not only a women's issue, but the responsibility of entire society. I want to emphasize that gender equality is not an ideal state, but a bottom line of human society must achieve. Only in gender equality society can we truly talk about sustainable development. Achieving SDG 5 is not only a one-time process, it requires joint efforts in laws, education, culture, and others. Today, the female education rate is increasing and the gender gap in primary school enrollment rate is narrowing globally. However, we are still facing some challenges regarding gender equality. Some countries still have child marriage, forced marriage, and laws or customs that restricted women's travel, education, and work. Women undertake a lot of unpaid housework and are not recognized by formal economic system. So So what can we, as students of new area, do for gender equality? We can encourage open discussion of gender issues and change the culture of silence, respect the rights of transgender, so that gender equality is not just equality between men and women. Only when everyone is no longer restricted by gender can we truly achieve a sustainable, inclusive, and fair future. I hope that through today's discussion, everyone will not only know about SDG 5, but will be able to understand its practical significance and think about what role of each us can play. Okay, that's all of the presentation of Group 1. Thank you.